Good evening. My name is Amika Pramo, fellow training at the Serapato College of Education, and this evening I would be discussing the code of conduct which governs the teaching profession in Guyana in line with the Practice for Practicum course. My topic is community matters selected to serve. The code of conduct that governs the teaching service in Guyana has had its fair share of criticism and contradictions over the years. I would have read it to its entirety an adequate amount of research to substantiate my viewpoint. While it touches on every aspect of the teaching service, such as commitment to profession, commitment to colleagues, attendance and leave of absence, commitment to students, and commitment to community, I would have highlighted 3 points that I am going to give some information about. Article dated March 4, 2010 stated that 154 teachers got dismissed in 2009 after the disciplinary committee deliberated a larger number of complaints from several stakeholders and members of the community. Many dismissals stemmed from unauthorized absence from duty, fighting among themselves, being under the influence of alcohol, misappropriation of school funds, carnal knowledge, forgery of certificates / qualifications, and inadequate work preparation, all not in accordance with the Code of Conduct Part A, which states that, and I quote, "Conduct yourself in a reasonable manner in the development of government policies affecting education." Many teachers did not act according to such. Point number 2 was taken from an article dated February 4, 2018, highlighting an activist, and many are familiar with this activist, Mr. Joel Simpson, who said, for teachers, code of conduct to prohibit LGBT discrimination. According to him, the code of conduct should be amended to deal with discrimination against youths on the grounds of sexual orientation. He was at the time offering suggestions on how to decrease the high school dropout rate within the said community. He also stated that teachers cannot discriminate on the grounds of ability, race, color, or creed, and that these behaviors are displayed in plain view of witnesses. So even teachers would witness these things. The Ministry of Education policy on the website titled Code of Conduct for Teachers under Part D states that a teacher cannot and must not discriminate on the ability of race, color, or creed, while it does not have any protective laws in it for LGBT students, and while none of those exist that specifically prevents the LGBT person from accessing education. Many Guyanese, and I want you to just get over this point, many Guyanese reportedly leave the education system early due to homophobic and transphobic bullying, thereby preventing them from practically realizing their rights to education, he stated. And I would have experienced this with a pupil that lives right next door to my parents. He suffered many forms of abuse going to school, and as a result of that, he didn't get the right common entrance. He dropped out from school. Okay, so the education policy says that that regardless of age, race, or creed, physical and mental disability are given the best possible opportunity to achieve their full potential through equal access to quality education is defined by the standards and norms outlined by the Ministry of Education. And I also want to say that this was taken from the Ministry of Education 2002 book, page 18. Yet, there's absolutely nothing that's specifically highlighted in the Code of Conduct on how to deal with students who are disabled, how to care for them or how to protect them from the harms of others. This is a critical area where many parents in Guyana find themselves having to keep their disabled child at home because teachers are not fully equipped as to how to deal with such situation. So, my take on this is that at this point we can argue that a review of the Code of Conduct is necessary to include such critical areas. So there are 3 points that I highlighted. One, misconduct by teachers. The other was how the LGBT pupils/students are being treated, and the other is how disabled pupils are being treated. Simply saying that the Code of Conduct should be reviewed to whereby teachers can know how to conduct themselves in a manner to deal or handle such situations.